Olivia, may I have a word with you? Yes, Brittany. What is it? You need to be more considerate of those around you. Huh? What do you mean all of a sudden? I mean exactly what I said. I guess you don't realize how bad you are at housework. You see what I'm saying? I'm sorry. Because you don't do your part, poor Paul has to suffer. I'm sorry. I thought I was doing my best. Oh my! Paul has never praised you, has he? Well... That's all your fault too. The reason he doesn't defend you. I don't think that's true. I believe Paul appreciates me even if he doesn't say it. What? How presumptuous! You're just not trying hard enough. You need to get it together. Right. I really feel sorry for my son. If you were more careful, we could have been a better family. Too bad. I'll work harder from now on and make a home Paul can be happy with. Don't forget those words. Yes. For example, the way you fold the laundry is so sloppy. Paul has a demanding sales job, you know? Have you ever thought about that? You're right. I'll be more careful. And when he gets home from work, the house should be a relaxing environment, don't you think? With your cooking too, you need to put in more effort for balanced nutrition. At the very least, you should master his favorite dishes. That's a wife's duty. I understand. Also, socialize with the relatives more often. As part of this family, it's expected. I don't know if you're shy or what, but you are not a child. You're right. I'm sorry. It seems like the neighbors don't have a good impression of us either. Even them? You really need to be more self-aware and put in the effort. Yes. Olivia, are you truly remorseful with that attitude? Paul is too kind to really criticize you, but you need to realize just how inconsiderate you're being. Sorry. For my son's sake, you need to be a better wife. If you don't get your act together, our entire family's reputation will suffer. I'll be more mindful. Do you remember me? What an inconsiderate, unmannerly daughter-in-law you are. Huh? Brittany? It's been a long time. How dare you? There's a way to speak to your mother-in-law. I'm simply stating facts. It's been 5 years since you stopped associating with the relatives, hasn't it? A long time, but also not that long. This time, you'll have no choice but to live with us again. So, when will you be moving back here? Brittany, it's been a while. But no, you're not my mother-in-law anymore. What are you talking about? How presumptuous of a daughter-in-law. Huh? I'm no longer in a position to have anything to do with you. What do you mean? At a time when your husband is in serious trouble? Serious trouble? Well, I'd be shocked too if my husband's affair came out. But a wife must stay strong. You have to tolerate your husband's infidelity. No. Do you realize how much we've struggled while you were gone? My son has been anguished because of you. Suffering? Yes. It's irresponsible for you to abandon your family over your husband's affair. You should be supporting him, Supporting him? Yes, marriage is about overcoming difficulties together. You have no sense of family responsibility. But I don't want to hear excuses. Come back immediately and fulfill your family duty. But don't butt me. Have you considered how much my son has suffered while you're gone? No, it's really pathetic. How pitiful that my son has a wife like you. That's harsh. It's embarrassing you were ever part of this family. Embarrassing? Yes, be more self-aware. Understood. But, Brittany, Let me say it again. You need to come back and support my son. That's your duty. That's enough. Yes, you have that responsibility. You need to move in now. It's your duty as a family. Responsibility? That's right. But, Brittany, we've already divorced. Divorced? I don't believe that. It's been 5 years. What? My son never told me. We've gone our separate ways. You are still responsible for him. But I am no longer in a position to be involved. Of course you are. You were family. But I have a new life now. A new life? That's irrelevant. I'm sorry, but I can't discuss this further. How pitiful that my son has a wife like you deserting him. You see, Paul and I are already divorced. I understand wanting a divorce, but that's no good. Even if you say no, we don't have feelings for each other. I don't think I want to get back together too. You're abandoning Paul? Abandon? Divorcing now would ruin your reputation too, you know. Excuse me? My son is in a wheelchair because of the accident. And as a wife, you are going to take care of him. Huh? That's what married couples do. Wait, you said he is in a wheelchair from an accident? This is the first time I'm hearing of it. Huh? Oh, so that's it. He came back home alone so he wouldn't worry you. No, what a kind boy. To think of others even badly disabled himself. Yet you, his wife, never even visited him in the hospital. You cold-blooded person. Heartless wretch. We've gone our separate ways. I think we should respect his new life. I won't accept that. You're just running away. I'm not running. I don't want excuses. If you abandon him, I won't forgive you. It's not about forgiving. We're no longer involved. You were part of this family. Please, let me explain fully. There seems to be some misunderstanding and missing information. Misunderstanding? Missing information? What is it? First of all, the affair you mentioned was over 5 years ago, when Paul and I divorced. Huh? It's not that you don't want a divorce. It had already happened years ago. Yes, that's right. After our divorce, I heard he remarried the woman he had the affair with. I beg your pardon? So I haven't seen or heard about him in 5 years. Until speaking with you now about his wheelchair situation, which is very unfortunate. But given that background, Paul and I are already separate people, living different lives. I don't think he would want me caring for him now. I haven't heard any of that. It seems so, but it's the truth. No, you're lying. Huh? 5 years ago was around when you cut off all ties with Paul's family. After that, he only came to family events by himself. Exactly, because we had divorced. Shut up! You're just making up obvious lies because you don't want to care for your wheelchair-bound husband. I'm not lying. You can check our records. Like, I'll waste my time believing a lying wife? Yeah. Anyway, you need to move back here and live with us immediately. Of course, you'll keep working since he can't for a while. We'll rely on you to support us. And we'll need to renovate the house to be wheelchair accessible. All those costs will be on you. This is all ridiculous. How dare you abandon my son when he needs you? Please confirm the truth with him. Even if you don't believe me, I'm only stating facts. Excuse me. Where are you going? This conversation isn't over. I won't continue this pointless discussion any further. Pointless? You really are heartless. Whether I seem heartless is your own emotional issue. I've only stated facts. You're not seeing reality. Fulfill your family duty. What duty? We've legally severed ties. Legal ties may be cut, but not emotional ones. That's your view. We chose separate lives. While my son suffers, you'll do nothing? Which is why I ask you confirm the facts for his sake too. Now if you'll excuse me. Olivia, I need to ask you something. What about your job? You need to work steadily or you'll struggle financially going forward. Huh? What do you mean? Always playing dumb. You quit your job, didn't you? Just last month, they said. What? Did you contact my workplace? I went there in person. When I asked to see you at the reception, they said you had resigned. As the wife who will need to support Paul from now on, what were you thinking, you fool? This again. How can I get you to believe we're divorced? You could just ask your son and know the truth. Ugh. You bring up such a foul mood when I mention it. I bet Paul is afraid the breadwinner abandoned him. Oh, poor Paul. That's why you need to come live with us immediately. And I can't believe you just quit your job. By the way, I heard you contacted my parents. They gave you the same answer as I did, but you didn't believe them. Instead, you yelled at them. Enough blabbering. Start preparing to move in and find a new job immediately. As the ex-wife, you'll care for our wheelchair-bound son for life. Not like you could remarry anyway. My remarriage prospects are none of your business. My life is mine to decide. I feel even more sorry for my son. Try to understand how your irresponsibility hurts him. Who's being irresponsible? I made the decision to take back my life. That doesn't mean abandoning the family. Our bond as a family should be mutually respected. I have continued to respect it, but that respect was not reciprocated. I can't believe this. Let me explain. I quit my job to follow my new husband's career relocation. What? New husband? Paul hasn't relocated. He had to quit after the accident. That's not what I meant. I mean, I've remarried. Huh? Remarried? Yes. My current husband is in a job that requires frequent relocating over the next decade or so. So I chose to work remotely. Understand? What the hell? So, you're the one who cheated? I'll sue you for damages. Be prepared. You know, Brittany, I met my new husband through matchmaking a year after divorcing Paul. So how does that make sense? You're just telling convenient lies. A divorce now would clearly mean abandoning your wheelchair-bound husband. When did the accident happen? 6 months ago. Our divorce was 5 years before that, so I have zero reason to be involved now, right? Of course not. When he got into the accident, he said his wife caught him cheating. So he fled with the mistress by car, driving too fast and crashing. Actually, I didn't witness any affair. I hired a private investigator to uncover his cheating. What? If you want, I can show you the investigation report from that time. Wait. So what was Paul talking about? Well, could he have cheated again after remarrying? Huh? He might be talking about his current wife. Wait, what? Anyway, you have to clarify everything with Paul. If you keep harassing me, I'll explore legal options. Excuse me. Just a moment. This isn't over. The conclusion won't change. Paul wouldn't do such a thing. You're mistaken. Then you should check with him yourself. Our issues are settled. I can't believe my son cheated again. Whether you believe it depends on his actions. So look into what he did properly. It's hard to take your word for it. Review the investigation report. It shows the truth. To avoid further misunderstanding, I'll excuse myself now. I'm sorry to keep messaging you, but I really need to discuss something with you. I'll be brief. Can you spare some time? I don't have anything to talk with you. I understand if you feel our discussions are over, but please hear me out. What is it? Paul finally told me everything. I see. So you understand now that what I've been saying is the truth? Yes, I suppose so. He didn't want me to know that his affair caused your divorce. That's why he claimed you grew distant from the family because you disliked associating with them. He also couldn't admit that he remarried his affair partner back then. I see. But then he cheated again with someone else, causing that accident. As his mother, I had to find out the truth about him cheating and the accident with a mistress. I understand. Now that you do, that's all I needed. Now, if you'll excuse me. Wait. This is the main point. What is it? Would you consider reconciling with Paul? What? You said you work remotely now, meaning you're always home. You are in the perfect environment to take care of him. You loved each other once, and your current marriage was arranged. So ending it may be easier than a love match. His affair partner is out of the picture too. You and Paul could start over again. Who are you to say that? What? First of all, it was your constant nagging as a mother-in-law that first made me consider divorce. Me? Not just in person. Endless needling, phone calls, texts, emails, a barrage of snide remarks, and insults I'll never forget. I didn't mean to. Anyway, I have no intention of divorcing my current husband. So leave me alone. Wait. I apologize for any grief I caused you. But please, help us. I didn't know he was troubled even after remarrying. We're both in very difficult situations now. We need your help. Please don't abandon us. That's impossible. I can't go back to the past. I'm remarried now. Please do not contact me again. Goodbye. That whole incident was entirely due to my former mother-in-law acting on her own. She was desperately trying to make me take care of Paul again. But it was all based on her own misguided assumptions. When Paul found out what she had done, I heard he really laid into her. I wish she would reflect on how her selfish actions caused so many problems for him. After that, Brittany and Paul were left with no money, forcing them into a life of poverty together. She had to downgrade to a tiny apartment, severely cutting expenses while supporting his needs. Well, it's got nothing to do with me anymore. I am living a peaceful and happy life with my current husband. By choosing my own path, I was able to regain inner peace.